Welcome back. Today's video is another art vlog and it's full of small creative things such as painting, of course, and shrink plastic keychains, stickers, air dry clay, design convolutions, a lot of stuff. And at the moment I'm working full-time in my internship semester, therefore I have not as much time to do bigger painting projects. So that's why you will see the small things in between. Without further ado, let's get into it and enjoy. You may remember magic shrink plastic from your childhood, and I stumbled upon it again the other day and really wanted to give it another try. So I made some funny keychains and I call them moody plants and wobbly hands. I've been going back and forth about whether to put stickers on my water bottle, and I may regret it later, but decided to go for it. And most of these stickers are made by fellow students, and the pendant on the bottle is also made from my magic shrink plastic stuff. So far I still like it. We shall see. I think I have a thing for painting crying people, and painting people is what I prefer for sure, and also showing people with really strong emotions or expressions, or people that are very radiant in some kind of way. And the second a person can't hold back their tears and starts to cry, these very particular few seconds, even if they are hard to capture, I'm trying, and it's really important to me to show all kinds of emotion, whether positive or negative nature. I think they are both equally important, and I really want the viewer to feel something when they are looking at my paintings. And this is also an opportunity for me to put feelings and emotion into my work, and I think this is very unstructured what I'm talking about. Maybe you understand. Let's move on. When I buy clothes, I try to buy secondhand as much as I can. First of all, because I try to support fast fashion as little as I can. And I also personally really love to look for special pieces or individual pieces. And I can proudly say by now most of my clothes are secondhand, but somehow I have to sew the buttons back on every piece that has buttons. But well, that's fine. It became some kind of a special routine for me when I got a new piece with buttons on it. I received 2 packages and I want to show you. I told you a few times about my fellow students' project Schwung, and I will link my unpacking video for them for you. But they started a second round and of course I'm participating, and I let some of my work be printed for that, and 14 people are going to attend, and so I had to print at least 14 pieces for each person, obviously. Please don't mind the noise of the cooking pot. And first thing are postcards. Yay! I really like how they turned out. The original is painted on a wood panel, Let me quickly show you. This is the original. So yeah, we have these postcards. And the second thing is some stickers of a very recent illustration I made. And I also added the sticker to my water bottle. So as I said earlier, we have 14 participants, including myself, so I will get one piece of mine back. Yeah, so I will pack all my prints and stickers in those little white paper bags. And I think I will just tape them with washi tape. Yeah, and I also printed 2 of my favorite analog shots I made so far. Yeah, so this will be my contribution. I'm excited. And we are done. Quite sad, last time I was able to help Simon and Tim, the 2 people who started the project, to pack all the convolutions. But this time I won't be able to because I'm in Berlin now and Aachen is pretty far away and I won't be able to visit there until then, so yeah, kind of sad. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to receiving my convolution and to unpack. When you have analog photos developed, you always get them in matching holders for them. However, they are very thin and you can't file them properly. And since I now have quite a few film strips, it's harder for me to keep them sorted, which is why I've now bought a few suitable sleeves. I'm currently trying to practice painting or drawing more loosely, but I find it very difficult and I'm in some sort of vicious cycle with that, since I like the practice to paint from my imagination or generally in a more loose style. It's logical that I'm not as good at it, but if I feel like I'm going to have the urge to glue or rip out the sketchbook page later, I just don't do it. And as a result, I don't practice enough. And the thing is that I have very little time to really do larger painting projects, and therefore I would like to work at least as often as possible on smaller things or just experiment. And I think it's something special for me to take time for it, and it's one of the few activities where I can really genuinely relax, and I kind of want to like the results afterwards. I'm absolutely aware that I cannot develop in those aspects like this, and I've already ranted about this in a previous video when I was talking about how I conquered my 6 months lasting creative block. But I still have to keep reminding myself that I can and must allow myself to experiment and to create things that I don't necessarily like at the end of the day. I see this as absolutely crucial in order to develop myself, and besides, not every fucking sketchbook page has to look good. Maybe you've noticed that I'm not in my apartment in Berlin. I'm at my boyfriend's apartment in Hamburg for the next few days. And he's now out for a few hours to meet with a friend, and in the meantime I wanted to get some groceries so that we can cook dinner when he's back. So yeah, I was just grocery shopping and noticed at the checkout that I don't have my wallet. But the cashier was super relaxed and nice, and we agreed that I can leave the groceries there and be back in 5 minutes because the apartment is very close. So I went back to the apartment and was about to unlock the door, but the door just wouldn't open. And I tried and tried, and I was really afraid that I'm going to break the key in the lock, and that would be a really huge issue because then none of us will be able to enter the apartment again. So I called my boyfriend, and he told me that all of his keys work differently, and I seem to have the one that works very poorly. So he tried to give me some instructions on how to push and pull the door and the lock and in which angle I have to hold the key, but it still didn't want to open. So at this point, first I had to pee very urgently, and second, the cashier had been waiting for more than 5 minutes. But even if my boyfriend would have left his friend to come to me, it would have taken a long time, so that wasn't an option for me too. Yeah, and in the end I was able to open the door. My finger is still red and swollen from pushing the key so much. And finally I was able to pay for my groceries, and it wasn't a huge deal of course, but I have absolutely zero patience for these kind of things. I don't know why, but stuff like that annoys me so much. But afterwards it's kind of funny though, so I thought I would share my absolutely adventurous morning with you while I'm painting. I just wanted to share with you that I found yet another hobby I don't have enough time for, but a hobby I really enjoy so far. It's working with air dry clay, and this is my first ever handmade coffee mug. It has to dry 24 to 48 hours until I can paint on it, and yeah, so I have to be patient with that. But in the meantime, I'm also making some little trays. I put them in here so they can take the shape as they dry. And I don't know if you can see that, but this is a little nose. A nose in a tray. I want a face in here, but I think I'm going to paint the missing parts. So for now it's just the nose. Yeah, this is a really new field for me, and I have to say I really genuinely enjoy doing this. To my surprise, a few years ago I really didn't like making 3D objects. It doesn't matter, but I really enjoy doing it now, and yeah, I think maybe I will do a separate video on it. We will see, but for now I just wanna see where it goes and enjoy doing these. I will keep you updated on it. Yeah. Okay, kind of disappointing. I just realized that I probably won't be able to ever drink out of my air dry clay mugs, because air dry clay is water based, and as soon as you expose it to moisture it's going to be reactivated, so I knew I have to varnish it. And I was doing my research on which varnish I can use, and first I wanted to have food safe varnish because we don't want to melt toxic varnish into our tea, and second, it has to stand boiling water. And all the varnishes I found weren't able to stand more than 30 degrees, and that's obviously not enough. Yeah, so I fear that if I want to create functional mugs, I have to work with clay. You have to burn afterwards in a special oven for that. And at this point I don't have access to these kind of tools, and I want to do research on places in Berlin where you can maybe go and use these tools. But yeah, I'm not very optimistic at this point, and yeah, I was super hyped to do these, to make them super pretty, to give them to other people. And yeah, I have other plans on what I want to create with air dry clay, but the mugs were my favorite, so this is kind of disappointing. Earlier in the video you saw me packing together my contribution for the Schwung design project, and before I end this vlog I of course want to unpack with you the whole entire convolution. And I know, or I think, that Simon and Tim met up yesterday to pack everything together. Yeah, but they have to send it to me, so I have to be patient for a few more days. Yeah, I think I will see you very soon. The convolution has not yet arrived because there were problems with the delivery, but in the meantime something else has come. It's an artist catalogue, and since I'm a member of the Künstlerforum Schloss Zweibrücken e.V., I'm a part of this catalogue in which all members are presented. Convolution finally came. Am I prioritizing opening this before I cook myself dinner? Absolutely. And this means something. Yeah, I'm super excited. Moving forward to what we all stayed here for, opening it. In my opinion, the second season of the project was completely successful again. I mean, such cool stuff came together again, and you have so much variety and, most of all, creative exchange. And I think that the whole concept is just amazing. I've already put a few of the new stickers on my water bottle, and I'm definitely going to hang a few prints on my gallery wall too. You can find each and every piece and all the amazing contributors on the project's Instagram page, which I will link for you down below in the description box. If you want to see a little behind the scenes, I have to film my videos with my phone, therefore I don't have the best audio quality, and I try to use my external microphone as often as I can, but it has to be plugged in into my laptop and into my editing program. Yeah, and when my tripod stands a bit away from me, I have problems to place my microphone. Yeah, and today I came up with a genius solution. I tied my microphone onto my tripod. Very professional over here.